And I got two guys I gotta look at?
Yeah.
Welcome.
I don't have to look at me.
Welcome to Yeshiva Daf, Shir Spanto, Lui Nishmas, I'm Yaakov Shalom, Leah Pasitzchok. We're holding in Sanhedrin Daf and Vov. We're starting the Nehemut base in the Mishnah in the bottom. Zog the Mishnah. Hamigadef Einui Chayav, Achi Farish Es Hashem. In order for someone to be Chayav on Giduf, Giduf means to do a curse, Klapim Allah. So it's only if he is saying the name of Hashem. What's Yefarish Hashem? He has to mention the name of Hashem. What Shem? Yud Kivov Kiatza Pashtas. The problem is the Rambam says that he says the name Adnus. Aleph Dal Nun Yud. And all the Rishonim argue with the Rambam, we'll see in the Gemara. It's not Adnus, it's Yud Kivovki. So I don't understand it. So Kayadu the Achorim explained, the Bishkov speaks about it. The Rambam learns that Adnus is not a nickname for Shem Hashem. Meaning, we know that when you say the name Yud Kei Vav Kei, so we read it Adnus. So there's two ways to understand it. One way to understand it is, you're not allowed to say the name of Hashem. So instead of saying the name of Hashem, you say a different name. Which name should you say? Adnus. That's the way for you. That's the way for you to say the name of Hashem. In other words, the way you can't say the name of Hashem, so you say a different name. The Bishkirov explains, and this goes on with others. The Bishkirov explains, other Chayim explain as well, that the Adnus is the Kri of Yud Kivovki. The same way we have Kri and Ksiv. We always have Kri and Ksiv. So the same things with the Bishkirov and the Rambam. How do you read Yud Kivovki? Adnus. So for us, Adnus is not just a name. Adnus is the way to read Yud Kivovki. So that's Yud Kivovki. Says the Gemara. Hamigad Rechevet Shiva Hashem. Hov Shu Mekol Chazuk V'Modam V'Modam V'Dap B'Chol Yom Donim Mesa'edim B'Kinu. So when the first time the Eidim come and we start discussing the case, I don't want them to say the name of Hashem. Because what's the case? The case is they come and say, Beryl and Shmuel come and say, you know what this person did? He cursed Hashem. So we ask him, so eventually you have to know what exactly did he say. But until we get to that, we'll see. We're going to delay that as much as possible because he has to say the actual sentence. So if Chas Hashem, the person says, the name of Hashem will be Chas Hashem cursed. So you have to hear him saying the name of Hashem. And you have to say the word cursed. So what do you do? In the beginning of the discussion, the Masu Maton, you don't say the name of Hashem. What do you do say? You give a nickname. What's a nickname? So the Gemara brings one example. Yakeh Yoisi es Yoisi. Yoisi. Why Yoisi? So Rashi says Yoisi is 4 letters, like the name of Hashem, which is Yud Kivovki. You can add to that the Vav, that Vav and Yudam is Chalfish, so maybe still to A and He. But Rashi says that Shem and Havateres, and in Cheshben, the gematria of Yoisi is the same gematria of Elokim. So that's why I want to use it. Now, why are we saying that Yoisi will take Yoisi? So we'll see later in the sugya. So the way to have Megadif is only when you say that he's using the name of Hashem and say the name of Hashem will curse, hit, do something wrong to the name of Hashem. That has to be. We'll see the Gemara soon why. So, instead of saying the name of Hashem, you say Yoisi. How do you say? Yakeh Yoisi is Yoisi. Which means Yakeh, replace Yoisi with the name Shem Hashem, you understand what he's saying. Yakeh Shem Hashem, et Shem Hashem. Nigmar Din, but now, finally, when you come to the Gemara Din, you need to verify that the Yonim have to hear from the Eidim exactly what happened. So then, Lo Yorgim B'Kinui. You can't kill it just based on the fact he said Kinui, understand what he's saying. Elo Motzim Kol Adam L'chutz. You take everybody out. V'shoalim Esagolo Shebeneim V'oyim Eloi. Emor Masha Shamato B'Firush. Tell me exactly what you heard. Do not change anything. Then he says, Yakeh Yud Kivovke is Yud Kivovke. V'hu Oimer. V'adayoyim Oim Dima Regleim V'koyirim V'lo Ma'achim. They hear the klolo, they tear the clothing because they hear the klolo of Hashem, and it's a tear that you cannot fix. We'll see in the Gemara why. The second eight says, I heard the same thing. Third said, I heard the same thing. They don't ask the second and third to repeat the words. Only the first one says the exact words. So you try to mitigate it. You don't say at the beginning, you wait for everybody to leave, mamish the last second, you ask only one of them to say it, and he's going to say these words. Says the Gemara, Tano, Achi, Yivorech, Shem, what?
One cut.
Yeah. Tano, Achi, Yivorech, Shem, B'Shem. This is what we said in the Mishnah. You have to have one name doing something wrong to another name. That's the clause to be. You know what I mean? Let you know that. Hamashmul, no Makov, and Noikiv, Shem, but Nokva, Shem, you. The same pasuk, it says Nokva, Shem twice. Tell me, it has to be, his lashon is, the using the name of Hashem will hit the Shem. I didn't know the Noikiv means a bracha, which means a klala. The lashon sagino means cursing. Who says that? Bilam Arasha. Bilam said, I can't curse because Hashem did not curse. So you see, the nakvo kivo is lashon of cursing. Where do you learn? Where's the lav? Eloikim loisekalu. Not allowed to curse Eloikim. And even though it means Adayon, maybe something else, it refers to this as well. Maybe Ekoiv doesn't mean curse, but it means to punctuate it. Like to make a hole. Not to take a knife and stick it into the name of Hashem. Why should you say that's what it means? The pasuk in Malachim it says he made a hole in the door. So Loshan Nekiva means to make a hole. This, by the way, this is not foreign, as the Rishonim, I believe the Rebbe Bechaya mentions in Chumash, that the idea of cursing is to do a hole. Making a hole, a spiritual hole. Taking the name of Hashem, making a hole in it. But it means cursing means a more, not a literal hole. So maybe it means a literal hole, taking the name of Hashem and making a hole into it. Maybe that's what it means. That's what Yisrael means. Says the Gemara, what will be the lav? It says, when you come to Eretz Yisrael, you have to destroy all of it, the Zorah. But don't do it to Hashem. You can't destroy Hashem. Says the Gemara, no, because that can't be, because we just mentioned that we need to have one name hurting another name. So usually by curse, you say name one will curse the name two. But here, how is it going to work? So here's the Leiko. Maybe, I'll tell you what it means. There's two names written one next to each other. Yud Kivav, Yud Kivav, and he makes a hole from one to another. So like he's taking from one name to another name. Says the Gemara, that doesn't help. We're just making two holes. The fact that one next to each other doesn't make a difference. Says the Gemara, no, I'll tell you what I mean. Maybe he took a knife. He wrote on the edge of the knife Yud Kivovke, and then he stuck the knife at Yud Kivovke. So the edge of the knife has the name Yud Kivovke. That still doesn't help. Why? What is cutting what? The knife is cutting, not the name. The name is on the edge of the knife. What is cutting the knife? I want the name to do it. Another option number 3. Maybe Noikiv Shem means that he says the name clearly. You're not allowed to say the name of Kivovke. He goes and says it very clearly. The people that were mentioned by the name. So maybe it means to mention the name of Hashem. What is that? Where's the lav? You have to be careful with the name of Hashem. Answer more we said before. You need one name reading another name. In this case, he's just saying the name. It doesn't say they're lav. It's an essay. Be afraid of Hashem. That is not an azar. So that's why it's not a lav. You need a lav in order to punish. Clearly, one next to each other. The main road, the Nekiv Klalu, to tell you the Nekiva is a Klalu. It means you have to do a hole, or you have to say the name and Klala. It says in the beginning, there was a person who was Nekiv Mekal. And then it says, take away the Makal. Well, what about Noikiv? It's the same thing. So more established when it says in the Torah, Noikiv, it means cursing. It says, right, it says in the Pasuk, Ish Ish ki kalil Eloikov, curses. The rabbis of the Chachamim shemuzar because Hashem ki Yisrael, even a goy cannot curse. But you don't kill them with skila, you kill them with a knife, with a sword. Noach are killed only with a sword. So they go, no, we have already a different learning for that, different pasuk. It says in regarding Odom Arisha, and this is the Agdama to the sugi we're going to get to. They're already the goyim avazoro because it says Vayitzav Hashem Elokim Alo Odom Le'amor Mikol Eitz Hagan Achol Toichel. So you darshan Hashem, so because Hashem, we'll see more about it in a moment. No, I'll tell you what, you're right. We already know the pasuk that a goy cannot curse from Odom Arisha. So what does Ish come to add? That not only he can't curse the name of Hashem, he can't curse the Kinuim. It says Rashi right away, the Kinuim here is not the Kinuim mentioned in the Mishnah. The Mishnah mentioned a name which is not the name of Hashem. Yaisi, this is not the name of Hashem. It means it says the name of Hashem, you say a different name in reference to the name of Hashem. It's like we're saying Hashem. Hashem is not the name of Hashem, just say it's the name. But a Kinuim they're mentioned over here is referring to other names of HaKadosh Baruch Hu, like Shakai, like Tzvakois, like Eloikim, names. Not you give off all the names. So how do you know when a person says that he's also chayav? That you see, that we learn over here, and this is what we say that a guy you learn from Ishish. We already learned that you're not allowed to curse. So I need another person to say that someone who curses is a problem. Someone who curses the name is Mois Yumos. Maybe only you'd give up. How do you know other names? So ki kala is referring to specifically other names, kinuim. So when it says ish ish, to tell me the goyim also have these names as well. Argue, and they say no. There's no miso by kinuim, only Allah by kinuim. Because it says the loikil is sikala. But not, there's no miso. Why? Rashi says, because it says, because if no sacheto, it says Rashi, is not miso. Okay, so he learns that Hashem yuchad miso kinuim bazor. You argue him here. Says the Gemara. So what we say right now when it says ish ish to remember the goy, talk about kinuim. Other names, they add that as well. Upligo, there are maisho. Now it's coming to argue Ramaisho. That what? The Omar Maisho. What was going to argue Maisho? If you look at Rashi, Rashi says, Hadoma Yitzchok Navchol Lerabas Akinuim Valibid Ameir Temashol Lerabon Potur Ben Noach Al Kinuim. Which is established, the Kinuim is only added according to Rameir, not according to Rabban. That argues over Maisho. Why? Hadoma Maisho Ben Noach Shabir Hashem Be Kinuim Lerabon Chayav. He says, even Rabbanan agree it's a problem. My timer, what is the reasoning? You compare the ger to a ezrach. Hashem itself. So meaning, Ramaisha learns that according to Chachamim, Kinuim is only by Hashem, not by Yisrael. So by Yisrael it's only Azar. When Rabbanan said the Kinuim is by Azara, it's by Yisrael. But for a guy, Kinuim will be B'miso. So where Rameir will do Keger Kezer, because Rabbanan will look Keger Kezer and tell me that guy is the same thing. Kever b'skilo aval kechavim b'saif. The Kever gets stoned. Kechavim gets a sword. Sagadat Ramino will be Maybe we'll tell him why. Of course. Always a goy is punished with a sword, as the Gemara said a moment ago. There's no other miso by a goy. So the Gemara, no, once you learn that a goy is like a Yisrael for the Aveiro, so maybe the punishment will be the same. Kamash that he learned that according to Rabbanon, you don't have a chiyuv. What does he learn from there? Dafka ger be'ezach, meaning a regular Jew, so there you need to have one name doing another name. By a guy, you don't need that. Says the Gemara, ish, lamali. Why it says ish? So basically, according to the first explanation, we said ish to the rabbi a guy. But if you're learning that a guy, you already know, because you learned it from Ben Noyach, from the Pasuk of the Mauritian. And by the fact that it says keger be'ezach, so I have to have ish. So Gemara, you're right. Ish is extra. Sometimes the Torah speaks that way. So what is it going to? We're brought a different opinions. Either that we hold, according to Yeshiva Daf, learned that a guy, according to our mayors, Chaim and Kinuim, but a Rabban hold not, or the Rabban hold that a guy is Chaim and Kinuim and only Yisrael not, or that the question is the Machlokes are Meir Rabban or not. That Yeshiva learns there are may holds that everybody's Chaim and Kinuim. Everybody agrees. According to Rabbanon, that's the Machlokes. According to Yeshiva Daf, Rabbanon hold that a guy is not Chayav Kinuim and Israel is a Azara. According to Amisha, Israel is a Azara and a guy is B'misa. Says the Gemara, now we're getting to, now that we mentioned the pasuk that we said before, now it goes into this, and this is where we have the source. This is a very, very, very important daf, because here, every daf is important, but this is the source of this daf for the 7 mitzvahs b'nei Noach. How do you call that in English? The 7 Noayith command. What is it? There's 7 mitzvahs b'nei Noach got. A. Dinim. What's dinim? They have to put a beis din. What do they have to judge? So here, there's a big machlekes in the Rishonim. Do you say that they have to judge like a Jew? You have to go with Choshen Mishpat? Or any judges they want to do. They could do any type of judgment they want. Now, as long as they have that, they have to make sure there is judges everywhere. Ubrikas Hashem, they're not allowed to curse, copy mal. Avodah Zarah, they're not allowed to worship Avodah Zarah. Gilui Arayis, the Shuchas Damim, they're not allowed to do a Gilui Arayis, not the Shuchas Damim. The Gezel, they're not allowed to steal. They're not allowed to eat a limb from a live animal. These are 7 mitzvahs. Pretty easy. Says the Gemara in the base. Chananyo ben Gamlo Oimer af aladam min chai. Not only a limb, they can't even eat a blood from the life. Chid koimer af alasirus. They're also not allowed. They're also to castrate. Shimon oimer af alakishuf. Can't do sorcery. Not only can't do one specific sorcery, they can't do the entire list of sorcery methods that mentioned in the pasuk. What is it? It says 9 things in the list that is a type of sorcery. All that a guy cannot do. Shmuel says to the Amisrael, you know why I'm kicking out the guy and giving you the land? Because they did all the sorcery. For land, Hashem can Israel. So, what do you mean? He punishes them without warning them? Of course he warned them. What did he warn them? When the Torah told the Marisha not to do sorcery, that includes that. They're not allowed to do kilayim. Explains about what does it mean. They can wear kilayim. Plant kilayim. They can mate animals and trees together. So why did Hashem? We said before. So the tzivu refers to keeping the right ways. Hashem is because Hashem. That's Hashem. So that's the word Elohim. Adam. They have to be careful of the human being. Lemo is the Gilui rights. Why Lemo is the rights? So it says the word Lemo at the beginning of the pasuk to tell you when it says Lemo, referring to that. You call it Tzagan v'loy Gezel. Call it Tzagan comes to tell you to say that he's not chayav in stealing. You eat the tree, you don't eat a limb from a live animal. He learned the possible. He learned the ideas, these mitzvahs, but in a different order. So we dash the pasuk starting with Vayitzav Zedinim. He starts a little different. Vayitzav Zavid Eskechavim. Have to do Avodah Zarah. Eloikim Zedinim. Usually Eloikim Zedinim Nichtiv Vayikra Al Bayis Eloikim. It says not when it goes to Beis Din. Vayitzav Avodah Zarah May Mashma. Yitzchak Bardim Chadomar. Soru Maher Min Derech Asher Tzivisim. So that's Avodah Zarah. Sulei Masech. So Avodah Zarah is because it says Tzivisim. Chadomar, another pasuk, Asher Gifraim Yotzut Mishpat, Koil Alech Achet Tzav. So two of them psukim to tell me that Avodah Zarah Tzav. Maybe now, what's the difference between these two psukim? This two last psukim you mentioned. What happens if he did Avodah Zarah but did not worship it? Mando Masuk, you learn from the first pasuk that it says, Sorry, Medech Shet Tzivisim, Asu Lehem Maseichel, they did a Maseichel, Shas Asil Michael. That's Loshen Asu. Mando Amak Yoil Balach, that he went to worship, at the Azil Basro, Upolach needs to go and worship it. So the more Maravo, so that's the community which CVC you learn from. You want to tell me they just making of the Zohar and now bowing down to it, you ready Chayav? Whenever Beis Din Yisrael punish, so then a goy is warned and then you kill him. And Beis Din Yisrael if there's no Mitzvah Yisrael, and Beis Ben Noach Muzar Aleihim. Ben Noach is not warned for him. Why? Because when he's strong, he never deserve it down, bow down to it, he's not chayav. Basically, not killing for that. So Masha goes also not chayav. Talk about someone who hugs and kisses our deserve. Give an issue of demai. What are you talking about? Which give an issue in which of the deserve? Meaning that's the way to worship this specific deserve. Bakatlo. He's doing the Avodah Zarah. So that's what we're talking about. So there we say the Gifuk, the Nishuk, a guy is not chayav because he's not killed for it. But make Avodah Zarah not bound that there, maybe yes. So you want dinim bnei noyach if good. You want to tell me the dinim the bnei noyach when he got it? V'atani says in the Bible, so Eser mitzvah tzav Yisrael b'mor. Obviously, we got 10 mitzvahs and more. What is it? Sheva shekiblu aleim bnei noyach. The first 7 that we had before. We see for aleim. What's the other 3 that they got in Maro? Dinim Shabbos and kibud avein. Dinim Shabbos, a little bit of Shabbos, kibud avein. See dinim. What's dinim? Did you say ben noyach when you had dinim? We said 7 plus 3. What is the original 7? Wasn't dinim? So what dinim? Chtiv sham som lechol gvishba. Shabbos, in the Dibur, the Sefer Dibur and Sefer Dvarim, it says in 2 psukim over there, Kabei Savichu Simecha, like I already told you. Keep Shabbos, like I told you when. Rashi says the psukim in Sefer Dvarim are the same luchas that were given to us originally. So then, when was it Tzivui? Tzivui was in Mar. That's what we said. So what is the addition of dinim that you have in Mar? So you need to have Sanhedrin, you need to have 2 Eidim, you need to have Asro. It's not dinim. We had already dinim. Just the way to do dinim. Right? It's mitzvahs dayanim, as Rashi says. Hello, my Rabbi. Dini krosses. Dini krosses, you do a knas, fines, not things that you're actually obligated. Akati osifu bed dinim levarli. Didn't make dinim. It wasn't really dinim. He just had another segment of dinim. Hello, my Rabbi. Lo yishiv beis din called pelech bechet uvecholir veir. So put a beis din in every county and every city. You have to do dinim. Well, how many beis din do you have to have? Every city has to have his own courthouse. That's what you had over there.
Why would a guy On the Sanhedrin, is he going to...
No, not Sanhedrin, his own base.
Oh, his own base. No.
Yeah. This is not even Benoach. Benoach has his own base din. And in addition, you have a mitzvah by Yisrael to do in every city. So the Gemara about Benoach, Lo Yifkud, you want to tell Benoach don't have the mitzvah? The same Yisrael have the obligation to have a courthouse in every city. That was mitzvah. So you're saying that Am Yisrael got the additional one? What do you mean? They already had it. So you're right. He has a different list of assignments of Benoach. 5 the same, but 2 things he changes. He takes that dach. Dach is what? Dinim and Birkas Hashem. And he puts instead sak, which is sirus v'kilayim. So he holds Benoach did not get dinim. So where did Am Yisrael get dinim? In Moro. What is it? Avodah everybody agrees. Gezel, stealing. Every minachai, which is the taking a limb from the chai. That's the 5 mentioned before. But number 6 and 7 is sirus, castrating. The kilayim, which is putting kilayim. So you made a what? So that's why he doesn't have dinim. That's why I'm still going tomorrow. The only thing he got is Avodah Zarah. So with the Shem Elokim, he says you have to know to do that. The Toisa says that's Odom Arisha, but Noach did get the mitzvahs. Odom Arisha got only one, but Noach did get it after the Mal. We didn't say because Hashem. He also has a issue to curse Klabimal. If Hashem have the dinim, so they did it. So they say it wasn't 7 mitzvahs that Odom Arisha got. Odom Arisha got 1, 2, maybe 3, maybe 4. It said that Kishbogu told Odom Arishon that Hashem Elokim, I'm Elokim. Right? So what did he dash over there? He says, Elokim ani, I'm your God, don't curse me. Elokim ani, don't replace me with another God. Elokim ani, you should be scared of me, which means that that dinim. You should be scared. You should be following the rules. Keman Yeshua. That goes like Yeshua, and that says in the dinim also include. Something more. Tano de Menashe. Something more. Tano de Menashe. He dorish veitzav. Filo achnami. Lo dorish veitzav. Hani minoli. Tano de Menashe. Does he dash it veitzav? The pasuk said before that we learned from there all 7 mitzvahs Benoach. If he dashes, he should have all 7. If he doesn't dash it, how does he know the mitzvahs we do have? Right? How does he know dinim because Hashem? In other words, he dashes. Tana Minashu says he has 7 mitzvahs Benoach, but he replaced 2. So Moshe, did he dash in the pasuk said before? The pasuk we said before, we explained exactly how the 7 mitzvahs are included in the pasuk. He learns a different set of different mitzvahs. Where does he learn that from? So doesn't dash. Lo dash veitzav. He learns each one of these mitzvahs that time Minashu put in the list. They have their own pasuk. Where is it? What does it say? Says the Gemara, it says that in Dora Mabul they did ashchasa. What's ashchasa? Ashchasa is Avodah Zarah and Gilui Rice. Darko is Loshen Derech. It's because Rashi brings the pasuk Derech Gever Be'almo. But Kachavim Dichtiv Pentesh Chisum VaSisem and Sisem. It says over there Lechem Pesach Tunaskol. So Ashchasa is ruining belongs to Arias and Avodah Zarah. And so you mail it. If the Dura Mabul is punished for that, that means they were warned for that. So that's how you learn where they were warned. The Mandalma that doesn't agree with this pasuk, he says a different pasuk. Or chayu de kamigale shvichus dom. The kamigale, right? No, I'm just telling you what they did. They were warned because of the other pasuk. But how do I know what they did? I'm just telling you. It's a story down. Shvuchus dom dechtiv shayver dam or odom ba'odom. The Moshe says clearly that whoever kills odom will be killed. Vidach katlayu ude kamigale. It's just telling you what death you have to kill it. In other words, you already know that you're not allowed to do it for Adam Rishon. But what is the misa they're getting? I'm going to give you everything like the vegetables. So you see from here the what? In other words, don't take vegetables from a private garden. Just take it from the after. You know what's going to tell you? I'm allowing you to eat meat like vegetables. Why? As Rashi points out over here, Adam Rishon was not allowed to eat meat. Because Rishonim was allowed to eat meat that died on its own. Rambam holds he was completely vegetarian, no meat. So he says if the animal died on its own, you can eat it. You can't kill an animal. But by Noach, Shmuel says, I'm letting you eat everything like vegetables. So here's that. Every minachah, where's the pasuk in minachah? Don't eat the meat, the flesh, with its blood, which means when it's connected. It tells you dafka, basar, badam, you're not allowed to eat. But a sheretz, a worm, you're allowed to eat. Sirus, you have to multiply. Don't castrate. Don't make somebody not able to have kids. It's not it's sivur. It's a bracha. So the birds are from their own mean. You can mate two different birds. Here we're talking about in the Mabul. So you're telling you when they came to the boat, you should know the birds were together. Does that tell you they had no kilayim? No kilayim went over somewhere else. Just tell you that how does Baruch make sure that everybody has company? They all came with their mate. Okay. I will tell them now. Very good. So that's what we got. So the Gemara is saying, so that's the Gemara brought time of Menashe, that he learned Shemit from a different place, and therefore he has a different list of 7. And the first one, Damar, he learned Shemit from Adam Rishon, and he merely has a different list of 7. That's what we learn for now. A very interesting sugya regarding the 7 mitzvahs of Bnei Noach. Everybody should have a wonderful night. Continue from here, Be'ez Hashem, tomorrow night.
Sure.